Hey, my Taurus babies, what's happening? I am sitting here. Well, I was done shuffling. I guess I'm not done shuffling. Anyway, Taurus, this is going to be for your April 2020 monthly reading. Just as I've been kind of sitting here doing this, um, just let me do my housekeeping first. Thank you for visiting Taurota Tarot. If this is your first time, welcome. If y'all coming back, thank you. Like, share, and subscribe, please. And a reminder, I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. Stay safe. Don't let nobody get more than 10 feet in front of you. I'm just saying. At any rate, Taurus, talking about your monthly reader, I'm trying to cut the time down. I went through and did like the last 6 months. My average time is like 40 minutes. So I'm trying to, I can only do what Spirit lets me do, but I'm trying to just not do so much extra. Whatever I don't have to do on camera, I don't do. So anyway, for the month of April, actually for where you are right now, might as well say it's April, tomorrow's 1st. Lots of changes. Stability is there, or you are diligently working on it. I saw lots of coin cards when I was shuffling. Very few cup cards, but I did see the 5 of cups. So some of you may be going through some emotional hoo-ha at this point. Dealing with another person, might be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Others of you may be dealing with fire signs. That's just kind of what I got off the rip from shuffling the cards. I've been sitting here about 10 minutes, just trying to get into our energy. Things, looking at all these major cards turning, things are changing quickly. So please do not feel like just because you're stuck in the house, you can't see actually what's going on. Please don't feel like that, because there's shit going on behind the scenes, and depending on what your mindset is at this point, you may be just thinking it's you and you're the only person in the world stuck in a house. And a lot of times when we get isolated like this, it's easy to your frame of view gets real narrow, and you're not thinking about the larger scheme of things. So I would ask you to get out of your heads momentarily. I see some air down here, and take a step back and look at the big picture. Things as you know them right this second. Whenever you're watching this, you don't have to be watching this when I'm doing it or when I first put it up. It might be 2 weeks from now. But things as you know it in this moment, as you hear my voice, are not going to be what they're going to be in a month. I'm going to just put that out there. Shit's getting ready to change quick. We got the Tower card, so I know I am telling no tales here. I did this in a regular spread because I didn't want to do a whole, have it all spread out. So we're going to pick through this and get through the energy as best we can. There's a lot going on. The Queen of Cups and sitting on top of the music card. So far with this deck, when I see this particular card, it just resonates about harmony and how things are working together. Don't nobody want to hear Beyonce singing off key. I'm just saying. You ain't trying to hear all that shit. You're trying to hear things that are harmonious as well in your life. You're trying to have things that are harmonious. Right now, emotionally, a lot of you do not feel like you are in harmony with shit. There you go. So this is why it's your overall energy. A lot of you are trying to process your emotions. You're trying to, go through whatever it is we're going through right now. But emotionally, a lot of you are just kind of out of whack. And that's okay. That's to be expected. But I heard, those of you that have been keeping up on TV, I heard Governor Cuomo in New York say something today that just rang all kind of bells in my head. He said, sometimes you need the emergency to force change. Let's talk about this right here. Sometimes we need all this shakeup. And let me just backtrack and say, as far as Taurus is concerned, this is no different than what you're feeling right now. it will just be more of the same during the month of April. So don't think that, oh my God, I got a tower moment on top of all this shit. No, this is really talking about the shakeup. And what he said resonated so strongly with me. It's nothing fancy and it's nothing we didn't already know, but he just kind of put it into a pill, a little capsule, and there it is. Sometimes you need the emergency to force change. And so if you look around you and you look at what's going on, things are changing. Those of you that think you're going to be doing what you were doing a month ago, a lot of things are going to change, especially with people emotionally. We are, in the process of all of this, we are kind of getting desocialized because we're not doing the things that we used to do. A lot of people are going to have a problem coming out of the house when all this is over with. So things to be on the lookout for yourself. Where are you mentally? Are you letting the fear of change and shit get you all out of whack and out of harmony? I'm just asking you, where are you mentally? Because just because you've been physically isolated, your mind, which then we get into the emotional part of some shit. You start dealing with what's in your head, and then that starts making you feel a certain way. But your mind can go anywhere. You don't have to ever leave the comfort of your sofa to go to Rome. Close your eyes to dream. And see, I think this is a lot of what we're missing right now. We're not dreaming. And instead of dealing with the gift actually that we've been given of this open time, we're agonizing over, oh my God, I sit in the house and I see everything on Netflix, I'm gonna die. No, you're not. No, you're not. But what are your dreams? What are you dreaming for? What do you see in the future? What do you want your future to look like? Talking about all of that. Just know this is gonna keep for the month of April. This whole level of uncertainty right now. You will begin to see some new patterns emerging because of this. Sitting on top of the Triumph card. Come on. Really? Got to be good. It's nothing but good. Let's go back. The back end of your overall energy with the strength and the completion. A lot of you are feeling like certain relationships maybe, or certain aspects of working. You're done with it. You're done with it. There's a 9. All that 2019 COVID-19 type shit. Bye. And so it's forcing you into a place of being strong. A lot of you may not be accustomed to this energy because for so long you've just been kind of puttering along doing what you do. And so now, I told y'all a couple weeks ago, if y'all weren't trying to change, universe was going to kick it in and make you change. Well, here we go. So it's for a lot of you, you have the strength. It's trying to muster the strength to figure out what you need to do next. You're sitting on top of the line. Now what the fuck? Where are we going? What are we doing? And so it's that kind of limbo-ish energy where you're just kind of hanging in limbo. However, you're feeling this. A lot of things are coming to a close rapidly. Even with relationships, a lot of you are noticing the things that may have been turn-ons for you before, or the type of person you may have liked before. It's changing. It's evolving. And not just because you got COVID-19. Fuck that. The universe is forcing us to change. It's time. Uranus and Taurus is just kicking it in Taurus's ass. Everybody is going through this, but because we have Uranus and Taurus, we're feeling it a little more at the ground level. Shit ain't just getting shook up, it's getting shook up. Just saying. So at the beginning of the month, when it comes to, especially with you changing and your outlook and your perspective changing on certain things, you're going to be asked to stand your ground on how you feel about commitment. Because even though things are changing, many of you still may be looking at commitment as just that. Not some fucking free-for-all where everybody gets in and jumps in and does what they want to do. No. You are looking for a true, solid commitment. And that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a traditional commitment. Example, traditional would be, boy meets girl, girl meets boy, they kiss, they fall in love, and they get married. There's traditional. Not so traditional, boy meets girl, fall in love, move in together, live together forever. However it's resonating with you. So this is what you're going to be asked to look at as we get into the month of April. Looking at your commitment, standing your ground for what you know is going to work for you and not for somebody else. You keep moving into the month. So you're gonna have to start communicating, and this sounds fucked up, but this is exactly what the fuck the energy says. You're gonna have to start communicating to yourself. Because a lot of you are like, oh, I'd love to do this and I love to do that. But when it comes to actually planning, acting on, you're not completing nothing. You just kind of standing there figuring out, which way is the wind blowing? Oh, never mind, I don't care. So as you get into the month of April, you need to start communicating to yourself, whether this means talking to yourself in the mirror, getting a journal, however that's resonating. You need to start communicating with yourself. Let me put the comma there, as well as others, but the big part, you communicating with you about what direction you want to go in. I promise you, if you don't decide, the universe is going to spin that wheel of fortune one more time, and where you end up is going to be where you end up. So if you're trying to move in the right direction, you're trying to follow your path, usually the universe will allow you to get where you need to go. If it needs tweaking, it will do that also. But for a lot of you, you haven't even decided what you want to do. All you know is everything is changing. Just because things are changing, that does not mean Uncabeza should shut down. No, it doesn't. It means you need to be plotting and planning, readjusting. Because if you've been thinking one way, you know, you're going to get up and go to your job and that's forever and ever. And now suddenly you find yourself in a situation where you're not thinking on your feet. Which way, where are you going? Where are you going? Again, it's going to be about you communicating with you to make sure you are clear on what you want to do. I think once those of you that are kind of uncertain at this point and don't know, but once you sit down and kind of think about what direction you want to go in, and you got two major cards, actually three, Strength, the Hierophant, and Mr. Dude here. Once you get clear with yourself about which way you want to go, things will begin to open up for you. But again, communicating with yourself, I know it sounds fucked up as hell, like, EJ, what the fuck? But that's real talk. Communicating with yourself, making sure, if we want to talk about chakras, that's gone. Making sure your chakras are lined up, making sure your intention versus what your will is telling you are lined up, making sure all that shit is going in the same direction. In that, I have to say this, in that, when you start this with the Emperor over here, there's a level of healing that begins or that completes, whichever may be the case for you. Because once you decide what direction you want to go in, and you start forging the path ahead, you begin to start walking away from those things that are not following you down the path you're choosing. Hence the making plans, yes indeed. But just understand, there's a level of healing once you decide what you want to do and you start making plans and putting your focus. And for a lot of you, this is not going to be just about your money and your job. This is going to be about organizing your life all the way across the board, everywhere. Bedroom, girlfriend, boyfriend, kitchen, everything. Organizing it and getting it out of this chaotic state. We're Tauruses, we're earth people. We don't operate in chaos very well. We like structure and shit. So start looking at what needs to be organized and making plans to do that, and understanding as you're doing that, even before you get to that, you start getting together with yourself and getting into some kind of alignment. So Emperor, I'm just saying, you will also heal as you begin making plans for the future. Things that have hurt you, you'll begin to understand, because you'll see some of those things needed to happen for you to get to the point where you could make some plans. I know I'm talking to myself, but there it is. Having to walk away from things so you can get to the point where you could make plans for the future. For many of you, that's definitely a ding-a-ling-a-ling for romance and walking away from people that are toxic, that are not stable, coins, people that are just up in the air and, you know, they can't make a damn decision to save their life. Walking away from that energy and getting back into, even in the chaos, let's just get to the next card, even in the chaos, creating a plan for the future to lead to success. That's all this shit is saying. The shakeup is okay. A lot of shit you need to go through. Again, sometimes you need the emergency to force change. Same thing here. You're gonna be coming out of this. Don't get all up in your head, I lost my job. hey, this is where things get created. This is where things get invented. This is where innovation kicks in. There are a ton of things I can see right now in the economy. If I was a bit younger and had a little more money, I would be doing some stuff. I'm just saying. If I wasn't on the track that I'm on now, I'd be doing some other stuff because they're huge opportunities, but you gotta look for them. And yeah, it's just all this shit falling out. But look, there's other stuff in there besides rocks. Come on now. So stay mindful in the midst of the chaos. Stay mindful. Success is surely going to follow, but you just need to stay mindful and just go through this. Once again, I got to say it for the third or fourth week in a row. Take it in stride, Taurus. Just take it in stride. Your challenge right here for the month of April is about the financial and the material. Many of you, I know, because some people have been hitting me up on the inbox. They've lost jobs. They don't know what to do, or their jobs have scaled back so much they can barely make it. And so many of you, as you get into the month of April, you're going to be feeling quite guarded about your money, your financial status, and uncertain, if anything, uncertain about where you are, which way you're going. Your challenge here for the month of April is to recognize it, period. To recognize you were in the middle of a bunch of change and start pulling, especially where your resources are concerned. Whereas 2 months ago, you may have been thinking about planning for a trip in October, November, December this year. Now you need to bring your goals, you need to bring your horizon back a bit. So instead of planning that far out, what can you do for the month of May? That planning, damn, brings that healing. Come on, planning. And then accepting that the change is here. The material and the financial changes are here. They're coming. Things just, again, it's the fucking shake up with the hell. That's what happens. You're going to be guarded. Recognize this for what it is and start adjusting your timetable a little closer and not so far out. I promise you, once all this shit shakes out, boop, you will see which direction we're going financially as a country, as a globe. You will see what will happen or not happen with currency. You'll see all of it. But in the meantime, just acknowledge the fact that shit's changing on a material and a spiritual plane. Some of you may have to downsize. Others of you may have to not only downsize, but include more into your family nest because people losing their houses, however this is resonating. Just acknowledge it and know the changes are there. Yes, the universe gets that you're guarded. That doesn't mean not be generous. I got to put that piece in there because it's in there. If there's need somewhere and you can help, do help. It will come back to you tenfold. This is I just said this is a creative point where we are. And if you are not used to, because you've been working, you're on the grind, this, that, and the other, run around, take care of the kids, going to work, and now you find yourself just kind of like sitting there like the fuck. Use this time to start manifesting some new things, creating some new things, creating new opportunities for yourself. This is a fire card. This is speaking a lot in my head right now to jobs and putting some fire up under your ass about what is it that you really want to do. What do you want to manifest financially? There we go with the financial and material changes. What is it that you want? You know what the picture looks like, and you know what the picture has gotten you thus far. What can you change? What can you adjust in your manifestation to make it what you need it to be, what you want it to be, and not just enough to get along and, no, the big thing. And this is dream energy. This is dream big energy, creator energy, starting a business energy. Come on. This is that energy right here. You have tons of it in the month of April. I promise you, if you take some time, come right back here, making plans and healing, some of this will come back to you. And I say back because I think a lot of you at one point may have been trying to be creative, but life just took you down the path of wherever, and you haven't had a chance to focus on anything creative. You haven't had a chance to act on doing something creative because you've just been, but this is all that energy right here. 3 being a number of change. It is. 3s and 5s of change. 3 is about the people too that you have in your experience. So there may be some people that you're going to run up against in the month of April that you realize you actually need to have them in your little frame. Oh, you need to include them. Start attracting a different kind of energy. Just saying. At the end of all of that, forgiveness with the king. There's a lot of little feet on that. Some of you need to forgive yourself. I don't know what's going on with you communicating with yourself and forgiving. Some of you need to communicate with yourself. Some of you need to forgive yourself. A lot of you may be looking at the business end. This is what Mr. Man is talking about, the business end of your life, and wondering how the fuck did I get here? And just understanding, once again, it's sitting up under the Tower card. Understanding that this is not about you. I said it. This is about everybody changing. So as a consequence, a lot of us are going to be affected. It just is what it is. There's no need to ride down hard on yourself on some bullshit because you can only make decisions with the information you had 3 months ago. Come on now. None of us knew this was going to happen. People losing their jobs, people not being able to go to work. None of us knew this. It was not expected. So a lot of you that are feeling like you did something wrong, or you weren't doing this right, you stop that shit. Just stop. And again, with the healing card, start refocusing. Yeah, it's business, but a lot of this, again, this is air. So a lot of this is you in your head too, about how your business looks. If you ask somebody else, it might not be so bad. I'm just saying, it's always somebody in a worse situation than you. Here we go again with the plans, looking towards the future and not dwelling on and getting your thoughts organized, getting your money organized, getting your house organized so you can move ahead in the future, even in the midst of the fucking chaos. If you have some kind of direction in mind, come on. It'll be what it is. But forgive yourself. And if there are others in your experience that you think you need to forgive because you just been on the grind and you ain't had no time for nobody and some more bullshit, do that as well. But all of this ties into you healing. Some of you need to heal for what you were doing. Some of you mad because you don't have your job. But if you take a step back and look at how you're feeling, even in the midst of all the chaos right now, without the job, some of you may have to stand up and say you're doing better emotionally because you ain't got the stress of that job. Of course, you're anxious because you don't know where something's coming from. Trust the universe, people. That's the biggest thing I can say to you. Trust the universe. This is specifically for relationships and those of you dealing with water signs. They came up earlier. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It's going to be you. For a lot of you, it feels like if this is you, this is resonating with you, and you're in a relationship or trying to start a relationship with a water sign. It's going to be up to you. The other person is then, they may not be acting like it right now because they got 599 other things going on, but they're all in. You, on the other hand, maybe not so much. And so in order to get the little flower down there to grow, that requires perseverance. You got to pay attention to the rose. I'm just saying, you want it to grow, you got to feed it, you got to nurture it, you got to do all kind of shit. So if you want this is a message for this little set of cards right here. If you are dealing with a water sign, even in a business sense, it's going to be up to you. If you decide you want to go ahead and kick in and, make some shit happen and make it work, it will. If not, once again, we come back to the healing. Acknowledge it, heal from it, and move the fuck on. Don't waste your time. We ain't even talking about nobody else now. We talking about you. Don't waste your time if you're not going to put the work in or you're feeling any kind of way about it. Just don't waste your time and beg off, call off on your apologies, and I'm sorry, and this is not working, whatever the fuck you need to do, and move on. In that, and this is probably going to just be a running theme for the month about your values and your morals and what you think is important, and not having actually the horse blinders on, taking them off, and pulling your ass up out of that field, i.e. pulling your ass up out of your head with your perceived or preconceived notions about what's happening in your life, and relying on your intuition and your spirituality to get you where you need to go, versus you trying to hold up some old ass outdated fucking beliefs on some bullshit, calling that church. Whoop. Come on now. And then wondering, how come I can't get anywhere? Because you up in your head with the old shit. That it is sitting under this, talking about tweaking what you're trying to manifest. That it is sitting up under this. Healing, so making plans so you can heal, so you can look forward to the future. That is sitting up underneath this, knowing that you got the strength to make all the changes that you need to make in life without letting any kind of limiting beliefs hold you back on some bullshit. It is what it is. I would be mindful for the month of April of anything that you are thinking in your head that's keeping you from being the person you really want to be, not even need to be, the one you want to be. A lot of y'all, you know, like, I can't do it. Yes, you can. There's no such a thing as I can't do it. Yes, you can. If you can say you can't do it, you can do it. So let me just throw that out there. It's time for change, Taurus. It's just time for change. It is what it is. So if you are stuck on something that's limiting you, let it go. Take them blinders off and let it go. Patience. And this is where that is right there. That commitment and that tower. And just, you know, it's like, damn, this is week 266 and we still going through some shit. Patience, baby. Just have some patience, dude. All things change. Nothing is static. So I promise you, as certainly as coronavirus showed its ugly head, as certainly as it will pick up and move on. We have to go through this process, though. I know y'all like, I don't think I had to talk about processes. But be patient. In the meantime, you work on making plans for your future with the information you have now, and if you're able to, incorporating some information you may need in the future. Hello. So you can heal. Patience, my dear. Patience. Take a second look. Those of you that are equivocating on this shit here, you know, playing a waffle game, half in, half out, don't know if you want to kick in or not. Take a second look at the situation. Now, this is not giving me a plus or a minus one way or the other, but take a second look at the situation. Just do it. Others of you, are you being ghosted? I know that yellow is hard to see. Are they ghosting you? Check that part out. That kind of reverberates right back here. Take a second look. What are they doing? What do you think they're doing? And again, it's a neutral energy. It could be good, it could be bad. But if you take the second look, I think many of you will see what you are missing. And I don't mean that in terms of if you don't take this person, what you would be missing, but see what you're missing, what you haven't seen previous to now. So however that's resonating, I'm sure it must be kind of wallowing around for some of you in your head, like, something going on. I'm not real sure. Take a second look. Take a second look. Drop the fucking ego. Vulnerability is hot as fuck. Drop the fucking ego. Vulnerability is hot as fuck. I don't know. This is bringing me back here. And maybe some of you need to be vulnerable so you can heal. And for some of you, there may be a relationship here with an earth sign. I'm just saying. What are we? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Another Taurus, a Capricorn, maybe a Capricorn from your past or a Virgo from your past. But the healing, you being vulnerable and letting people know you hurt and cry just like the next bull. I'm just saying. See what else the universe has. Spend time with Bay. Make art, love, or music. Spend time with Bay. Make art, love, or music. For some of you, that might be here. Maybe the perseverance of being in a relationship with whoever, water sign or not, and just, recognizing the fact you have to persevere. You still got to keep the spice in the relationship, despite the fact that the world is falling around you. Spend time with Bay. Make art, love, or music. That ain't a bad thing. One more card, Taurus. One more card. Stop sleeping so damn much. Wake up. You are missing some cool shit. Stop sleeping so damn much. Wake up. You are missing some cool shit. I don't know who that's for, but I know the tendency right now, because a lot of people on lockdown, is to sleep. I'm one of them. I'd rather sleep than deal with it. Wake up, because you're missing some stuff. Especially if you got kiddos at home, and you're like, Jesus, just let me go and close my door. You actually may be missing some cool shit your kids are doing. Those of you that are housebound with parents and they live in the same home, you may be missing some gems from them. I know we're all tired and stressed out. Don't nobody want to talk to nobody. Don't want anybody to hear shit. Just sit in your corner and leave me alone. But open up. Be a little vulnerable. Know that this is the month of April will be a healing phase as long as you're keeping your eyes towards the future. Think about your commitment, standing your ground for what you believe, and getting out of your head and those limiting beliefs. Taurus, I love you. I hope y'all are doing well. Stay safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.